So hello everyone and welcome to a very special virtual installment of the Elementor Atlanta Meetup. So why is this meetup so special? Well, because we have guests from Elementor joining us today. With us from Elementor is Tally, who is our global meetup lead at Elementor. We have Verdi Hines,
Hi.
who's community manager at Elementor. And we have our special guest speaker, Donna Cavalier, who's the educator and technical writer at Elementor, who began her career as a web creator in 1998 and has enjoyed watching the web grow over the decades. Okay, here's our agenda for today. Okay, so guys, let's take a quick look there and see how this meetup is going to flow. After we make our introductions, we're going to go ahead and have Donna present to us the custom dashboard and role manager. And from there, we're going to go into our breakout groups that's going to be hosted by various Elementor leaders in the city. After that, we're going to have feedback from you, the attendees, and then Q&A. I just wanted to remind everyone that this session is being recorded. So we just wanted to make it known so that in case you don't want to be a part of this recorded session, you can gracefully bow out at this time. But we would like for you to stay, and we hope that you enjoy this meetup that we have for you today. All right, Elementor is the leading website builder platform for professionals on WordPress. Elementor serves web professionals of all types, including developers, designers, and marketers, and boasts a new website created every 10 seconds on its platform. Elementor offers a free and premium version of its platform, as most of you know. Since launching in 2016, Elementor's reach now extends to more than 180 countries, has more than 5 million active installs, and is loved by many. As seen over 4.5 thousand 5K star reviews in the WordPress repository. Now you can be a part of this global Elementor community by joining the Elementor community Facebook page. There's going to be a link shared with you in the chat window to join that page. You will find people from all over the world who love to create websites just like yourself using Elementor. Members of the community are a diverse group from all walks of life and a variety of skill sets. You will find questions from the novice user to the more complex design topics by Elementor expert users in that Facebook group. I personally enjoyed it, and I know you will too if you're not already a member. By attending this meetup today, you're participating in the Elementor global community right here in Atlanta. You can find Elementor meetups taking place in over 27 countries, 68 cities, with over 14,000 members participating worldwide. And as you can see, here are a number of Elementor meetups that take place all over the world, indicated by the red dots. Now, the Elementor Atlanta meetup was selected as one of 15 cities to participate in the Elementor virtual road trip. With the unfortunate effects of the pandemic on our ability to gather for in-person meetups, it has caused us to adjust and utilize virtual platforms such as Zoom and others to meet. With these virtual platforms, we are able to now gather globally with people all over the world. So if there's a virtual meetup in another part of the world that interests you, you can now join these meetups and get to know others in the Elementor community from other parts of the world. Now, as the local Elementor communities grow, Elementor is looking for more people to serve as local community leaders. Here in the metropolitan Atlanta community, we have the Elementor Atlanta meetup and the Elementor Gwinnett County meetup led by Carrie Wolf. You can apply to be a community leader via the link in the chat window if you're interested in hosting the Elementor meetup in another part of the city. Now, without further ado, I'm going to present to you Donna Cavalier, educator extraordinaire at Elementor, with today's topic, How to build client-friendly, non-breakable sites using Role Manager and custom dashboards. Donna?
Okay. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes, we see it.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Hey, y'all. My name is Donna Cavalier, as you've heard, and I'm Elementor's Learning and Education Lead. It's great to be here, by the way, even virtually. Atlanta happens to be one of my favorite U.S. cities, so maybe one day we can all meet in person. I'd love to come and share some of your famous peach cobbler and sweet tea at Mary Mac's with you. If anybody's up for that, that'd be awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little about roles. First, what's my role with Elementor? You've heard my title, but what do I actually do? I mostly use my technical writing skills to write the Elementor documentation, and my design and creative writing skills to create video tutorials. But this leads me to what your role is. How many here are web designers or developers who create websites for clients, whether that's as a freelancer or as an agency? Just type me in the chat box if that's your role. Awesome. Look at everybody. Cool. Okay. So now type me if you only build or maintain your own business or your own personal websites or your company's website. So you're just managing one website, basically. You don't have clients. Just type me if that's you. Okay. A bit fewer of those. Okay. So while today's workshop is most helpful for those of you who create websites for clients, even those of you who are one-site managers, you can also make use of this information as well. So now that I know your roles, let's mention one last role, the site's users. And that encompasses the admins, the editors, the authors, the contributors, and the subscribers. Their roles will play an important part in today's workshop, and we'll see how shortly. So for those of you who create websites for clients, you know that the handoff of a brand new site to your client is an exciting moment for everyone, right? I mean, everybody feels like it's a party. Yay, let's celebrate, it's done. Phew. Unfortunately, the days and weeks and months following that handoff, it can be fraught with confusion, questions, accidents maybe that can cause unnecessary panic for everyone when your client has just mangled your site's design. Does that ring a bell for anyone? You had that happen to them? Because it happened to me a couple times. So it would be much better if you take steps to ensure your client's continuing happiness and peace of mind. And you can do that by providing with the tools they need to to successfully manage their sites going forward. And also important, to prevent them from accidentally destroying that beautiful functional site you created for them. We don't want that to happen. So in this meetings workshop, we're going to work on that by creating a custom dashboard for each of the main user roles using Elementor to design the dashboards, of course. And these dashboards will provide all the tools that your users need to successfully manage their websites. Then we'll lock areas of Elementor that we don't want users to be able to edit or destroy, so we can avoid those panic situations. And we'll manage which roles get put on lockdown and which don't. All templates we create have also been made available for download, so don't worry if you aren't able to create them live in the workshop. Tally, could you please put those links to the downloads into the chat room?
Yes,
now?
I'm doing that right now, so 1 minute.
That's because you are awesome. So for those of you who don't create sites for clients, this is going to be useful for you as well. A custom dashboard can make your life easier. And you can also make use of role management too, because there's likely going to come a time when you'll need help with your site, and you'll need to add a user or maybe 2 or 3 users. With role management already in place, you can allow those new helpers to jump in without worrying what damage they might do to your site. So we're going to wait for Tally to get all those links in here. There's one. I'm going to continue on while she's doing that because we're not ready for that yet anyway. So although Elementor and Elementor Pro come stocked with, all the amazing features and elements that you love already, one of the greatest things about Elementor is that it opens up its system to the wider developer world. And that allows us to have a vast ecosystem of add-ons, designs, functionality that extends Elementor already in really unlimited ways. So today, we're going to make use of one of those third-party plugins, and it's one that I personally love. It's called Dashboard Welcome for Elementor. It's free, it's on the WordPress repository, and it lets us use Elementor to design beautiful and functional dashboards for any role we choose. Hopefully you've all installed the plugin Dashboard Welcome for Elementor already. And if so, log into your test site and we'll begin. If you haven't and you don't feel like doing it, you can just sit back and watch. And I'll share my test site screen now so you can follow along. So hopefully everybody sees my test site. And we all know what the standard WordPress dashboard looks like. This is basically it. And although WordPress tries to be welcoming with its welcome widget, and they didn't do a bad effort at that, the overall effect is still intimidating to new users because it has such an overload of information. And we're going to solve this problem by creating a custom dashboard for each user role that is a lot less information heavy than all of this. And there could be a lot more here depending on what plugins you have installed as well. So you may want to include some or all of the links in this WordPress welcome widget in your personal widget, the custom widget, custom dashboard that we're about to create. And you might also want to get rid of a lot of these widgets here on your custom dashboard. You can do that by clicking on the screen options up here and just unchecking any of these that you don't want on your particular dashboard. Any that you leave will end up showing underneath the dashboard that you create, the custom dashboard. Okay, so we're going to leave a couple of them here so that we can see how that works. And when you're done unchecking, you just click on the screen options button again, and that goes away. Okay, so how do we begin creating our own custom dashboard? Well, it's really simple. So to start from scratch, you simply go to Templates, Saved Templates. And you can follow along with me. Click the Add New button. You'll select the page layout type right here. And you'll give it a name, something like, in this case, Editor Custom Dashboard. And you'll click the Create Template button. I'm not going to do that right now. And that's because we've already supplied you with an Editor's Custom Dashboard, a couple of them actually. Those are the links that are there that you see. So I'm just going to X out of this for now. See, I have an Editor's Custom Dashboard here and an Author Custom Dashboard. So, and we're doing this to save time. So we'll simply edit the customer's dashboard. And so I want you to go ahead and import those now. You can download the templates that are in the chat room. When you're finished downloading them, go ahead and let me know that you downloaded them. Just say downloaded. And once you've downloaded it and everybody has done that, we'll move on and import them. So go ahead and click these links and let me know that you've downloaded them. Okay, doing good. I'll wait for a few more. And Tyler would like the links reposted. He can only see one of them.
Tyler, if you can just scroll up, let me know if you can see the files. And if you don't see them, just write me a private message.
Okay, so it looks like most people have this downloaded. So now you just go to Templates, Save Templates, which are probably already there, and click on Import Templates up in the top of the window there. Click Choose File, and go ahead and just grab the files that you just downloaded from your hard drive. My computer has decided to freak out a little bit. There we go. And then click import now once you've done that. And just let me know when you've imported them. When you're done, you should see these two on your screen. Okay, I see a couple of people have imported them. Just say imported when you're done. Okay, I'll give it another couple of seconds here. All right, everybody. So now that you've imported them, just hover over the Editor's Custom Dashboard link here, and you'll see Edit with Elementor. Just like with everything else we do with Elementor, click that. And we'll go ahead and edit this particular dashboard that I've partially pre-created for you. So this template is going to be designed and edited just like any other Elementor page. I've created a quick sample design, but of course you're going to use your creativity. You're going to make the perfect dashboard for your particular client's needs. So I did the top and middle sections already, but the bottom section I intentionally left blank so we can all work on it together. Okay, so let's see why I chose these particular elements and this particular layout. For our demo client, we wanted to give the editors the basics of what they need to use most often near the top, and instructions and tutorials under that. The very top section, that's going to be the welcome message that orients the user to their branded dashboard. So in this section, be sure to use their logo, use their brand name and their color scheme. This will make them feel more at ease, as though they're in the right place. They're in their own home. Then the middle section, this is going to contain a column of icons and links to add and edit posts and pages, because this is probably going to be what they're going to be doing most of all with the editors. And in the column to the right of that, we've got a support form. Okay, so why did I use this particular layout, this particular format? You notice I've given large icons and large text here. I do that because I want to give them the illusion of simplicity. They may or may not be real familiar with WordPress or Elementor, and we don't want them to panic, and we don't want them to be overwhelmed with all that fine print that comes with the standard WordPress dashboard. So, make it big and bold and easy to read, and they're going to feel a whole lot less intimidated. Now over here in the support form, of course, we included our demo logo and our name. And we do that because it's a lot easier to leverage your existing user base to increase your income than it is to go out and get new users. So we want our previous and our current clients to come back to us time and time again. So make it easy. Make it easy for them to contact you rather than someone else so that you can earn those future jobs. So just keep yourselves top of mind here. Okay, so now before we move on with designing this bottom section, does anyone have any questions or thoughts about anything I've discussed so far? Just hit us up in chat. Or Delmar, if you want to, have people talk, just let them know. No questions? Okay. All right, so the bottom section, this is going to be their tutorial section. It's going to contain an FAQ in one column over here in the left, and it's going to be a series of videos and tutorial links in the right column. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I left this blank, so we're going to do this part together. So just follow along with me if you can. You can just repeat what I do as I'm doing it. And don't worry if you don't have time, you know, we're going to share the recording afterwards, so you can practice all you need. Okay, so first let's drag a heading widget into the left column right here. And we're going to just type in FAQ here. All right. And we can manually adjust the color and the typography by going to the Style tab. We'll select a color here. Of course, you're going to have different colors in your color picker. Just choose whatever you prefer. I'm going to choose this blue. And then we're going to set the typography, go change the font family to Montserrat. And we're going to set the size here at, let's say, 37. Okay. And, you know, we're going to create more headings, but we'll just copy and paste this style later so we don't have to continuously do that. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our widgets. Click up here in the little corner. And we're going to search for the toggle widget. There it is. We're going to drag that below the FAQ heading. There we go. We're going to make the first item's title say featured image recommended size. Okay. And here in the description, we're just going to type the size that we want our editors to use here for the featured images. So in my particular case, we're going to go with 1200 px by 400 px. But of course, you know, each project will require something different. This just gives them a quick reminder. Maybe they haven't done a featured image or a post in months. They come back, they don't remember what size it was. Boom, it's right there on the custom dashboard. Okay, so then next, in the second toggle, come on, click that. There we go. I'm having a little bit of an issue with my computer. Sorry, guys. Okay. So on this one, we're going to call this Editorial Procedures. And here, we're just going to leave this lorem ipsum right now. But here we would type whatever procedures these editors should follow. I mean, you know, maybe they need to get approval from a specific group before they publish a post. Maybe they need to send a link to the draft to several different email addresses. You know, whatever their procedure is for creating a new page or a new post, just remind them of that here. And then we're going to add one more item. I'm going to call that Team Links. And here in the description, you know, we're just going to add some links to the various social groups that the editors may need when they're developing their content. So maybe they have a Slack channel, and maybe they have a Zoom room. You know, we would just link these up to whatever the URL is to their Slack channel. Do the same thing for their Zoom room, etc. You may have several here. Okay. So that looks good. Now let's build out the content for the right column. And we're going to start with a heading again. Drag that over here into the right column. And this time, we're going to call this Tutorials. So now we want this to match up with this. So we're going to right-click the Edit pencil icon for the FAQ heading. And we're going to choose Copy. And then we're going to right-click the pencil icon for the Tutorials heading. And we're going to choose Paste Style, not Paste, but Paste Style. And boom, look at that. It looks exactly like the style of the FAQ heading. I mean, this is one of my favorite things that Elementor did in the recent past, because this makes consistency really easy. You don't have to work hard to have your entire page look consistent really quickly. Okay, so now we want to add some videos and links to the tutorials, but let's try to save some vertical space rather than having it go very far down vertically by putting this into two columns. But since we're already working within a column, we'll need to drag in an intersection. So let's go back to our widgets. Intersection is the first one here. Just drag it in under tutorials. And that immediately gives us an intersection with two columns. And just so happens 2 columns is what I want, so we'll just leave that as is. You know, this lets you nest columns within a parent column. Okay, so let's drag in a video widget here. Let's go back to our widgets. Grab a video widget, drag it into this left column. And, you know, here you'd place the YouTube video or whichever video source you have that you want to show. So I'm going to share this particular YouTube link in the chat room so you can use it if you'd like. There we go. And this is the Elementor's Getting Started video. Let me go ahead and put that in here. There it is. There's one of my favorite Elementor team members, Ziv. Okay, so now we want to add another video here. So we're just going to do the same thing. Drag a video widget over here. And you know, you'll put whatever URL you want here in this video. It may be it's a URL that comes from Elementor's YouTube channel. Maybe it's from someone else that you like how they describe Elementor. Maybe you've created your own. You do whatever you want here. But I want some more here. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this entire intersection by right-clicking in the handle here and just say duplicate. And boom, there we go. So in this widget, again, oops, I just dragged it over here accidentally. Bring that back. You know, you can just edit this, change the URL to, again, a third tutorial that you want them to see. I don't want 4 videos here. I want 3 videos and I want some links here, some tutorial links here. So I'm going to delete this video widget and we're going to instead bring in an icon list. So I'm going to search for icon list and there it is and drag that over. Okay, so now we've got 3 items here. I'm only going to need 2. So I'm going to get rid of the number 3 item by clicking the X here. And on this first list item, I'm going to change this to say knowledge base. Spell it right, Donna. There we go. And we're going to use a question mark icon. So I'm just going to click here, click on the icon library, type in the word question to filter. Let's use this one that's got a circle around it. And click insert. All right, and then list item number 2, that's going to say video tutorials. And we're going to use an icon of a video. So just type in video and we'll choose this one and click insert. Okay, so now we've got knowledge-based video tutorials. You know, you'll put in links to whichever URL you want them to go to when they click on this. Maybe for the video tutorials, you'll send them off to the Elementor video YouTube channel. Maybe for the knowledge base, you'll send them off to the Elementor docs. Maybe you have your own tutorials that you want to share with them. A lot of times you have clients that have very specific instructions that are maybe outside the normal box of either Elementor or WordPress for that matter. And maybe you've created videos, maybe you've created documentation, you know, whatever you need to put here, that's what you should put here. And we're just going to make these a little bit bigger because, again, we don't want all of these things to be quite so small. So let's just go to the Style tab. And we'll set the icon size to, let's say, 25. There we go. And the text font size, we'll click on typography, and that will be 28 pixels. Oh, there you go. Much better, much better. Okay, and we're going to do the same kind of thing over here. We didn't mess with these yet, but let's go back and edit this particular widget. Go to the style, and again, title, typography. Let's try 25. Yeah, that works great. Okay, and the content, typography. Let's make that 22. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to take a breath now and summarize what we just did. Basically, these are just example FAQ questions. You're going to put in whatever FAQ questions you want. It will be unique to your client. I put in 3 video tutorials as well as links to a knowledge base and more video tutorials. Again, these will be your choice of what links you put in here. Maybe it's from Elementor's official channels, or maybe it's your own tutorials or someone else's. You know, that pretty much sums up the entire board here. So let's stop. Any questions before we move on? Go ahead and ask in the chat. Donna, can you show the video overlay? Okay. Look at what I keep doing. Isn't that fun? Okay, so video overlay. You mean the image overlay, Greg? Okay, so you can just turn on the image overlay. You can choose an image that you want to show. I'm not sure what images I have in here that might be useful, but I'll just pick one for anything right now. So you can see you can change the image overlay. If you don't want the image that comes with the video, you can put whatever you want. And this, you can have it lazy load it, so that saves you on some speed. You can change the image size, you know, whether or not you want the play icon or not, and whether or not you want it to open it up in a light box. Okay, so I'm gonna undo that image overlay for now. You're welcome, Greg. Okay, Kara says, my page has a sidebar. How can I remove this? How can you remove what? I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure I understand what you're saying. Can you give me more detail? The template has a sidebar on the right. Oh, very good question. Okay, Kara, what you do is you come here to the lower left corner to the cog icon and click the gear, and here in page layout, make sure you choose Elementor Canvas, and that will get rid of headers, footers, sidebars, that sort of thing, because you definitely don't want that for your custom dashboard. I'm so glad you asked that question, Kara. That's perfect. Okay. Any more questions? All right, so what are some of the typical client dashboards you have seen others set up? You know, mostly it's been less detailed than this. I've seen people just put in, you know, sort of a header up here. Usually these common actions are put in there, but I haven't seen too many people put all of this in there. I just like to give my clients as much information as possible. All right, let's move on now. So we finished with our template. So at this point, we would either publish or update it. And once we've done that, okay, let's go ahead and do that. Let's say update. Now let's go back. Let's get out of here. So you click on, let me go back to this. You click on the little menu icon up here in the upper left corner of the widget panel, and we'll click exit to dashboard. And now we want to go to settings, dashboard, welcome Elementor. Okay, so here's where we decide which roles will see this dashboard that we just created when they log in to their back end. We designed this one specifically for our editors, so we'll just click the editor drop down here. We'll find the dashboard we just created, which is the editor's custom dashboard, and we'll choose that. If you want them to be able to dismiss this dashboard, in other words, get rid of it and not see it again, then you can check the box here that says is dismissible. I don't ever want my editors or any of my people to do that. I want them to always see their custom dashboard, so I do not check that. But you can if you want them to have that opportunity. Once it's gone, though, they really can't get it back as far as I know. So then we click Save Changes. And then when editors log in, they'll see their custom dashboard that you assigned to them. Now I want to show you what that looks like. So I'm using a particular plugin called User Switch, I think. That makes it easy for me to switch from my admin user that I'm in right now to an editor user that I created. So I'm going to go to Users, All Users. You don't have to do this part. And I'm going to click on the Switch To link so I can log in as Donna Editor. So this is an editor. When me as an editor logs in, they won't see this part because this is only specific to this plugin that I'm using. They'll see this. There's their dashboard. Let me scroll down. And as you can see, as I mentioned before, those couple of standard widgets that we left there, they show up underneath. And this is what they see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and switch back. Let's see. And now I'm back. All right. So that takes care of the editor role. Now we want to repeat the steps for the author role. So let's go back to Settings, Dashboard, Welcome Elementor. You know, you downloaded an author dashboard, custom dashboard, and really it's almost identical to the one we just did for the editors. I simply made a few changes. I removed some FAQs that I thought aren't relevant to authors. You know, you do whatever you want. You can completely redesign it. You can, you know, leave it as is, however you want to do for your authors. But once you're happy with your author custom dashboard, you'll simply assign that template to the author's role here. So we'll choose the author custom dashboard here. And when authors log in, now they'll see their particular custom dashboard, which will be different from the editors. So that's it. You can just create a dashboard for other roles if you'd like, for the admins, for the contributors, the subscribers, whoever. Or you can just leave them at the default, whatever works for you. And then, of course, you'd save changes at that point as well. And then finally, you're probably going to want to export all these dashboard templates that you created from the Save Templates area. So let's go there. Templates, Save Templates. And this lets you export them and then import them into other sites. So let's say you create this really awesome custom dashboard for your client. Go ahead and export that. You do that by hovering over the dashboard link and just click Export Template. And you'll just save that onto your hard drive. Then the next time a client comes along, you don't have to start from scratch. If you think that custom dashboard might be a good starting point, you can just import that right here, Save Templates, into Import Templates here, just like you did with the links that we did here. And you've got a huge head start on your next client's dashboard. You just make the changes that you need for that particular client. Okay. This part of the demonstration is over. We do have another part though, but hang on. First, we're going to head off to the breakout rooms. We're going to have some discussions about customizing your dashboards and handing sites off to clients in general. Then when we return, we won't be finished yet. You'll learn how to prevent your clients from breaking everything, which is a major thing. So stick around because you won't want to miss this part. So is everybody ready to move on?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
I'm going to share my screen again. Let's see if I can find it. This one. Okay, is everybody seeing the role manager screen?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so we designed our custom dashboard. That's awesome. But let's move on and make sure that we prevent future disasters. So Elementor's role manager, this feature gives you the ability to limit access to Elementor's editor for specific roles. So for the bulk of this presentation, everything we've done works well, even for users who only have the free version of Elementor. But Role Manager is available for free users as well, but its capabilities are limited there. The full power of Role Manager is only available in Elementor Pro, and you'll see the difference shortly. So first, let's take a common scenario. So administrators need to have full access to everything. So any limitation there would prevent administrators from managing the feature that they just locked themselves out of. So we don't want to mess with that. But the next level down, the editor role, this is one where you might want to implement the first layer of limitation. You'll probably want to allow editors to edit the content of the Elementor pages, but you might not want them to be able to drag and drop widgets or adjust the styling or the layout of the page. So with Elementor Pro, all you have to do is go to Elementor Role Manager here, and you'll click the arrow next to Editor, and we'll place a check mark next to Access to Edit Content Only. So if you do this, editors can now change images, alter text, and so on, but the styling and the layout of the page is inaccessible to them. They won't be able to add, delete, or drag and drop elements. They'll only be able to edit the current content. And this feature, Access to Edit Content Only, that's the part that's only available with Elementor Pro. Now, the next level of limitation, no access to editor here. This is available for free users as well. So they get this, but they don't get this. So in our scenario in which we're using Elementor Pro, we might want to use this no access to editor option for authors and contributors and subscribers. Now these probably wouldn't have access to editor anyway, but in any case, so authors and contributors would still have access to their posts that they wrote with the standard WordPress editor, or whether that's Gutenberg or Classic, doesn't matter. But they would not be able to access the Elementor editor at all. It's just a really simple concept. Role Manager allows just two possible limitations, but these two options are really powerful nevertheless. So let's quickly see what happens when an editor logs in and edits a page with Elementor. So I'm going to go back and switch over again to the Elementor editor role. Okay, and then I'm going to go to Pages. And let's edit something. Let's edit the About the Team page. I'll click Edit with Elementor. Now remember, I'm in editor role right now. So now I'm here, and let's say I want to edit this. I click here, and now I can edit the text. Okay, so yay, that's exactly what we want to do. But what I cannot do is I cannot come over to the widgets and I cannot drag anything in here. Or yes, I can. I think I know what happened. This happened last week too. And what I did was forget to save changes to make sure that I don't have access to this. So let's go back. You know, I really thought I had learned my lesson last week. Sorry, y'all. Exit to dashboard. That's what I'm trying to do. Switch back. Sorry for the pause, everybody. Oh, come on, switch. Oh no. Whew, okay. All right, so Elementor Role Manager. Did I not do that? See, same thing. Save changes, Donna. The importance of the big blue button. Okay, now let's try this again. Users, all users. Donna Editor, switch to Pages. All pages. About the team, edit with Elementor. Please, everyone cross their fingers that I didn't mess this up again. Okay, gonna edit here. Here I am. Yes, I can still do this. Let's go drag a widget in. Fingers crossed, everyone. Oh, look, I can't do it. Yay. Okay, I also can't move things around. So like, you know, I can't mess things up. I can't drag. There's nothing here. There's no section items here. I can't drag things around. I can't do anything really, but I can edit all of the text that I want. And if there were images, I could edit those too. Basically content. I can edit content. Okay, so that's pretty cool, right? So your users, your clients, if they are not in an administrator role, you could make sure that they can't come in and mess up your design. They can't change all this around. They just come in, change the text as they need to, and everything's cool, right? So any questions on how this works other than should I click that big blue save button or not? Let's see, I don't see the chat room, so let me find the chat again. There it is. We've all done that. Any questions on role manager? Can the editor role access WooCommerce orders? Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know. That's a WordPress specific question. Anyone know the answer to that? I mean, I would guess they probably could, but I'm sorry, I don't have the answer to that. If anyone else does, feel free to chime in. Nope. Okay. So let's move on. Okay, so that completes the main focus of the presentation. But I do want to mention 2 other customizations you can make to further enhance your client's experience. So you can use Elementor Pro's login widget. And with this, you can create a custom login page for your clients. This is just another opportunity to present your brand and another opportunity to show your client that you've put real effort into creating a customized experience just for them. So like the dashboard templates, I recommend that you create a login screen first. That first and foremost reflects the client's brand. Help them feel at home in their website by using their company name, their color scheme, their logo. And then feel free to add small touches of your own brand as well. Nothing overwhelming, just enough to keep your services in mind, just like we did with that form on the custom dashboard. So maybe just a small logo icon that links to your support portal would be the perfect addition to the login screen. So you can see from this example shown here, I created a login screen for a pub called Millstone. The background is a photo of the inside of the pub, and that immediately makes the client feel at home. The color palette of the login form itself comes directly from the rich, warm tones of the photograph. Now, if they had a different color scheme for their own brand, I would use that instead. But in this particular case, it actually came from this photograph. I used the client's logo to nail down the "you're where you're supposed to be" vibe, you know. And I also included our demo company's logo very subtly down here in the lower right corner with the word support under it. They know they can click that and contact us if they have any issues logging in or for anything else they might need. And that also creates billable hours for support, right? All right. And finally, if you want a very comprehensive tool that lets you control many back-end functions, such as the ability to hide menu items from certain user roles, which a lot of people want to do, then add minimize, this is the word here, add minimize is a good choice. It's not related to Elementor in any way, and it doesn't coordinate with it in any way. But it could be the final touch you might need to make the entire experience perfect for your clients. You can install the Add Minimize plugin from the WordPress repository as well, and it's free. So that wraps it up. So now's your chance to ask questions, share your tips for custom dashboards, or role manager, or even just broader thoughts on client-side handoffs. Thanks for watching, guys. stop share.
Thank you, Donna. We really appreciate you taking the time out to share with us such a valuable tool. I think in our breakout session, we were talking about how many of us didn't use the tool that that you presented. One that we will for sure now take a look at. Now we're going to, I guess, have feedback. Is that correct, Tally? So,
Yes.
is there anybody that has any comments or feedback regarding this particular topic? Any feedback regarding the topic? And you can unmute yourself if you need to speak.
I thought the presentation was excellent, and it triggered a lot of thoughts for me in terms of changing my practice. I'm slowly starting to use Elementor, and the use cases that came up in our discussion were very, very helpful. But I appreciate the time and presentation. It's very thorough. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Kathy.
Hey, I'm Carrie, and I just wanted to say that I really thought it was a great presentation, and did spark some ideas. I know that I already do Zoom meeting training sessions as handoffs when I launch a site, but now I could see it, but it's always an issue. I have to give them a link of where to see the video so that they can remember how to do stuff. So now I have a place to put it that it's not off site, it's on their site, it's always there, and they can always have access to it. So, and there's just all kinds of things that this can be used for. So I really appreciate it, Donna. Thanks.
Good. Thank you, Carrie. Anyone else have any feedback regarding this topic?
You know, I thought it was really good, and I think it's really good, really helpful to get it past 10% of the website, to really smooth it out and make it professional, both with the login dashboard, or once you've logged in, and then the custom screen, so that it doesn't feel like some sort of stock kind of kit thing that you've given people, but it's really tailored to them. So I think both of those can get you the last 10% of a super happy client.
Yes. Any interesting comments in the group breakout sessions?
Awesome new plugin someone informed me about, flexible Elementor panel, and just a couple other Elementor tips and tricks we kind of discussed. That was pretty helpful and useful.
Oh, great.
Donna, I'd like to know if, and I apologize everybody for my voice. I don't know what is going on today, but I'd like to know, with the custom home screen that you create, is there typically, you find that for your clients, they need specific things right in front of them when they log in? Like, I know support would probably be one of them, but anything else regarding WordPress?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, as I mentioned, the featured image size, and not just featured image size, but any image sizes. I mean, sometimes we want specific images to be a specific size for, like, a gallery or that kind of thing. Maybe a maximum size, don't upload a 4 megabyte, image, that sort of thing. Reminders of those kinds of things. Maybe even links to tiny PNG, that sort of thing, so that they can remember to resize their pictures before they upload them. Any hints, any tips that your particular clients need, and you may not know what they need right at first. You can always customize their dashboard later. But if they keep coming back to you with the same questions, like, how do I make my images smaller before I upload them? Put the link to the tiny PNG or whatever your favorite is right there on their custom dashboard. Anything that you need them to not forget, any flow, anything that they normally do that they may not remember to do, any kind of instructions like that, that's what I put on there.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Don, I have
Any other questions?
Sure. Don, I have a question about your dashboard. You showed that you could click on dismiss and the dashboard didn't show. Is that only for the current session or is it for forever?
I believe it's forever, but I could be wrong about that. But I don't think it shows up again. We should test that out though, probably. It's just a kind of a typical function in the same way that any like a plugin will have that dismissible notification,
right.
You know, and you never see that again once you dismiss it. So I think it works along the same lines, but I honestly haven't really tested it.
Okay, thank you.
Can
All
anyone,
right, go ahead. Sorry, Kelly.
I'm sorry, can anyone point me to some really good tutorials for doing WooCommerce? I've not done that yet, and I have a client that's looking to do it. So rather than shooting in the wind.
Kelly, is there something specific you want to do with WooCommerce and Elementor?
Well, I have one client that wants to use it for a company store, and then another one that wants to use it for a nonprofit for taking donations.
Okay. I know with the WooCommerce, there's a separate plugin to accept donations.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be in the repository.
Okay.
Last I looked. And as far as the store is concerned, and this is as it relates to Elementor, like how to design it or just
it's more like when I kind of fidgeted with it a little bit, it's more like the setup and putting in custom colors and things like that.
Gotcha.
I checked YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube definitely
WooCommerce
is helpful.
Channel. It's pretty helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I just posted a link in the chat. That's a plugin that's more adept.
There you go. Yeah, the give. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Thank you,
WP.
Tyler. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Give WP.
Definitely for that. And I guess with the other sites, WooCommerce is awesome. I can share your email. I'm sure a lot of people here will. We're a community. And we can
yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. All right, any other questions? Anybody have any Elementor issues that you've run across?
Oh, Carrie, and it just popped into my head. You know, the Elementor, the latest version of Elementor, I guess it's Pro. I think it's Pro. That has the step form edition and then the lolly files edition. I played around with it, and the lolly file does not show up in the editor. You drop in the JSON file, and it'll show on the front end, but it's not showing up on the back end. And I'm wondering if that's just a bug and it'll be fixed, or if other people are seeing that, or maybe there's something wrong with my setup. Anybody seen that? Has anybody played with the lolly files?
I personally haven't yet. I played with it in another tool prior to the release from Elementor, but I have not done so with the Elementor release. Tally, is there a link that you can post that they can folks can make suggestions on features?
So about features is on GitHub. Let me just add it here, and this second I will add about the features. And Carrie, about the lottery, I don't. We just had before this meetup, we had a Facebook Live with one of mentor leaders sharing the use of lottery. So I suggest you maybe to post a comment there, and you will get a reply, because it was all about the lottery and its use.
Okay.
So check there, and of course.
Yeah, Carrie, I haven't seen that particular issue, so it might just be like a plugin conflict or something that you have.
Yeah. It was
but-
just last week, and it had just come out, and I mean,
Well, make
like,
sure you grab the latest release, which they just came out with one today.
Yeah.
And if not, yeah, GitHub is the place to
Yeah.
go to either report a bug if it is a bug, or just get a little further help on that.
appreciate it.
Great. Anybody else? Tally just posted the bug report and also feature request links. So guys, visit the chat window to take a look at those links and definitely use them. I'm sure Elementor is constantly looking for what the community wants to see in as far as features are concerned. So use those feature requests and also report any bugs that you may have. All right. The ones that Orkin can't take care of. So, all right. Any other Elementor questions? Elementor related questions? Any other general questions that you may want to share, or any comments, any experiences using Elementor?
I have a question. This is Kathy. Someone has posted a little earlier on the chat asking how we access the recording of today's session.
Okay.
Yes, so
Go ahead, Tally.
well, Delmar will share it on the Meetup on the Atlanta Meetup group. We will send messages. If you are, make sure you are subscribed to messages from meetup.com or from the group. It will take a few days, but we will share that. And later, in a few weeks, we will have a playlist, our channel on our YouTube with all the recordings from all road trip meetups. So we as well will share that throughout the meetup groups. And if you didn't yet, we have, I'm sharing again the feedback form. Please, we would love to hear your feedback. We're always looking for how to get better. So please just fill that if you have like 2 minutes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Tally. And before we go, we want to make sure that we make the best use of your time. It is now 12:32. We want to share with you that our next Elementor Atlanta meetup is going to be on July 9th. And it's going to be on the topic of building forms with Elementor Pro and the new multi-step form feature. So we'll discuss building forms using Elementor Pro. I don't know if a lot of you have done that before, but it's very slick, very nice form builder for building contact forms, for building any number of forms. And now with the multi-step feature, that just takes it to another level. So we want to share with you that date of July 9th. So mark it in your calendars. A meetup invite will be sent out today or tomorrow. I want to make sure that I put all the description in there of what we're going to cover in that particular meetup. But we would definitely like for you to join us on that day to talk about building forms with Elementor Pro. All right. So with that, Tally, Donna, Verdi, we want to thank you all from Elementor for taking the time out to join us. And Tally, what time is it in where you are in Israel?
So it's 7:30 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah. So we thank you for taking your family time and spend with us. It's much appreciated. Donna, next time I'm in Louisiana, hopefully we can get together and meet up and have some good Louisiana Cajun or Creole cuisine, okay?
Come on down.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And we thank you so much for taking the time out to share with us today. And to all the Elementor Atlanta community leaders and community members, I want to thank you for joining today. We want to thank Elementor, Gwinnett County, and Carrie Wolf for sharing with us today. Carrie, it's been a pleasure.
It was nice to meet you, Delmar.
And we hope to support your meetup, your Elementor meetup as well. And to all the group leaders, Diana, Jason, Kathy, Stephen, Ginger. Hopefully I didn't leave anybody out. But at any rate, we want to thank you for leading the groups today. And on that note, I bid you all farewell until July 9th. Hopefully everybody stays safe, and we'll see you then.